Where did the world's greatest civilizations vanish to, and why? In the shifting sands of time, ancient societies blossomed, achieved monumental feats, and then disappeared without explanation. Today, we journey into the echoing corridors of history to seek answers. We open with a question that has haunted historians and dreamers alike, as ancient ruins yield their silent testimony to a lost world. Our story begins amid the crumbling remnants of cities that once radiated life. Across sun-baked deserts and overgrown jungle expanses, we see the faint outlines of the Indus Valley, the mighty Maya, the enigmatic Ancestral Puebloans, the mysterious society of Easter Island, and the majestic remains of Great Zimbabwe. Each civilization, thriving in its own distinctive era, left behind monumental relics and perplexing questions. Their abrupt declines continue to provoke inquiry and spark debate. What circumstances conspired to bury these luminous civilizations beneath layers of time? In the heart of the Indus Valley, around 3000 BC, an advanced society thrived in what is now northwestern India and Pakistan. Towering cities bustled with innovation and commerce. Yet by 1900 BC, the vitality of their urban centers waned. Archaeological evidence points to prolonged droughts that withered crops, declining trade with distant lands, and even the tremors of earthquakes that shook foundations. This early collapse casts a long shadow over the mysteries we now endeavor to understand. Further east, the classic Maya civilization reached its zenith before slipping into obscurity during the 9th century AD. Their pyramid temples and intricate glyphs tell stories of astronomical mastery and passionate devotion, but also hint at deep-seated environmental stresses. Modest reductions in annual rainfall, sometimes as drastic as a 25 to 40% fall, may have unsettled this intricate society, leading to societal fracture and eventual decline. Over time, what once was a dazzling beacon of cultural and scientific achievements became a poignant reminder of nature's unyielding power. Up in the rugged cliffs of the American Southwest, the ancestral Puebloans constructed magnificent dwellings that clung to canyon walls. Their artistry and communal life flourished in harmony with the harsh landscape. However, the combined forces of extended droughts, dwindling resources, and pressures from migrating peoples eventually forced them to abandon their rocky abodes. Their silent cliff dwellings now stand as solemn monuments to a community that faced nature's relentless challenge. Across the vast expanse of the Pacific, Easter Island offers a stark narrative of resource depletion. Once home to a vibrant society that erected surreal statues and intricate ceremonial sites, the island suffered from deforestation. The relentless demand for wood, to carve statues and fuel agriculture, led to severe soil erosion and a catastrophic loss of biodiversity. In a seemingly self-imposed collapse, the islanders found the fragile balance of their environment irrevocably disturbed. In southeastern Africa, Great Zimbabwe soared as a medieval center of trade and culture. The stone structures, artfully assembled without mortar, tell a tale of sophistication and power. Yet by the 15th century, political instability, environmental degradation from overgrazing, and shifting trade routes conspired to leave the once thriving city deserted. Once again, nature and circumstance wove a narrative of inevitable decline. As we navigate these ancient enigmas, we encounter a court of theories, each battling for explanatory prominence. Climate change serves as a recurring culprit, a relentless force acting upon civilizations large and small. Droughts, resource scarcity, and unpredictable weather patterns emerge over and over as shadows cast over the destiny of these societies. But the narrative is enriched by other, more unconventional ideas. Some propose that the sudden drop in global temperatures during the Younger Dryas period, a cosmic event possibly linked to a comet or asteroid, played a disruptive role. Others even speculate about extraterrestrial influences. daring to suggest that contact with beings beyond our world may have sowed seeds of collapse in advanced societies that achieved remarkable feats of engineering and art. Expert interviews and first-hand archaeological reconstructions breathe life into these debates. Renowned historians underscore how trade networks disrupted by environmental shifts rippled through communities, amplifying vulnerability. Field archaeologists recount their visceral experiences, standing amidst ruins where once vibrant voices filled the air, and they describe the eerie echoes of a people whose mastery of their world laid the groundwork for future human endeavors. Their insights meld empirical research with a profound sense of wonder and loss. The tension between accepted scientific explanations and bold fringe ideas creates a dynamic narrative that forces us to reconsider not only the fate of ancient civilizations but the future of our own society. Today, as we pen this narrative, the echoes of the past resonate with our present challenges. Contemporary societies grapple with climate change, resource depletion, and the unforeseen consequences of relentless technological advancement. History, in its intricate cycles, hints that the seeds of collapse are often sown in the same soil as those of progress. We now journey deeper into the details of each theory. Imagine the dramatic landscapes of the Indus Valley, where scorching droughts turned fertile fields into barren expanses. Visualize the sophisticated water management systems once designed to sustain a bustling urban center, now lying in ruins. Experts suggest that these climatic hardships were not transient but part of a long-term trend that quietly, yet inexorably, undermined the civilization's foundation. Shift your focus to the Maya, whose calendar and astronomy still astound us centuries later. Sudden, severe droughts may have impeded agricultural cycles, triggering widespread famine and social upheaval. Despite their profound advances in mathematics, art, and ritual, natural forces conspired to accelerate their demise. Sequences of rain gauge data and ice core samples from distant lands reinforce these conclusions, reminding us that even the most sophisticated societies are vulnerable to nature's whim. Reflect then on the cliff dwellings of the ancestral Puebloans. Imposing rock formations, these ancient abodes speak silently of human ingenuity in the face of adversity. Yet, the same region that once nurtured innovation also delivered stark challenges. With reduced rainfall and the gradual depletion of essential resources, the community found its environment increasingly hostile. Desperation mounted as every precious drop of water became a contested prize, leading to a quiet, inevitable exodus from the land they had so artfully transformed. Up on the remote Pacific frontier, the tale of Easter Island is particularly arresting. Isolated amid vast oceans, its society once stood as a self-contained example of human effort and ingenuity. But the irony of their fate is profound. Their accomplishments in sculpture and construction, symbols of human achievement, were shadowed by environmental mismanagement. Deforestation stripped the island of its life-sustaining layers, culminating in a collapse that is both a cautionary tale and a mirror reflecting the potential pitfalls of unsustainable progress. Great Zimbabwe's story is no less compelling. As we trace the rise and fall of this medieval powerhouse, we observe how the complex interplay of environmental changes and human ambition led to a precipitous decline. Political fragmentation and unsustainable practices carved fissures into a once unified society. The stone ruins, weathered by centuries, compel us to contemplate the ephemeral nature of human greatness. A short, stark truth emerges in just a few words: civilization is fragile. In our modern age, these ancient narratives carry a dual message. On one hand, they remind us of the extraordinary achievements and sophisticated cultures that once graced the earth. On the other, they serve as solemn warnings about the forces of nature and the repercussions of ignoring environmental limits. Each stone, each artifact, speaks of a bygone era, urging us to heed the lessons of history. As we conclude this exploration, we stand at a crossroads where the past converges with the present. The mysteries of vanished civilizations invite us to witness both the brilliance and the fragility of human achievement. Whether it is through the lens of climate change, the shocks of a cosmic event, or even the provocative hypotheses of extraterrestrial influence, one question remains constant. What can we learn from the remnants of our ancestors? Their stories are etched into stone and whispered by the winds across deserted landscapes. It is a poignant reminder that what seems eternal can dissolve in the face of nature's might and time's inexorable march. Will we heed these lessons, or will our own achievements crumble into relics of mystery? Today, as we reflect on the rise and fall of ancient societies, we are compelled to assess our contemporary path. The challenges faced by our forebears echo across millennia, urging us to appreciate the precarious balance upon which civilization rests. History teaches us that progress must marry sustainability, and that the hubris of unchecked development can lead to irreversible loss. The mysteries of vanished civilizations may never yield all their secrets, yet they offer invaluable insights. They call upon us to consider the delicate interplay between human endeavor and the natural world. In every forgotten city, every silent monument, there is a lesson waiting to be learned. It is the story of triumph and tragedy, of human brilliance shadowed by inevitable decline. A final thought lingers: in the dance between civilization and nature, all that dazzles can fade. Will our own civilization one day vanish into mystery? If history fascinates you, subscribe to Factomized for more deep dives into humanity's greatest mysteries.